Hi, I'm Jasmine, presenter of Blogging 101 provided by DIY Mogul. In this tutorial, I'll be sharing insight and instruction for writing your first blog entry. If you've been following along the Blogging 101 tutorials, this is the fifth step to the series. Now, writing your first blog entry may be intimidating for some. The idea that what you write will be judged and criticized by others can cause unnecessary anxiety, whereas in reality, those that choose to visit your site, especially on an ongoing basis, are more likely interested in what you're writing. They are looking for insight on what you're delivering while longing to learn more about you. My first blog post was about my journey to becoming a self-published children's book author. I shared my step-by-step process from manuscript development to choosing an illustrator all the way to production. Now, this blog post had approximately 2,617 words in it. For my first blog post and following, I chose to write what I wanted to write about. I figured early on I didn't want to be like anyone else but me. I wanted my voice to come through in every blog entry. So most people would argue a typical blog post should be between 500 to 700 words. Honestly, with this being my blog, I determine the length of my blog posts. However, if I choose to work as a guest blogger on other sites, there may be strict requirements as to the length of my blog posts, and I will keep that into consideration. I learned a lot writing my first blog post, as well as those posts following. Here are a few must-haves that I ensure each blog post I write has included. I make sure that I reference links to a few other internal blog posts, such as these here. I make sure I always have some links in every blog post. I make sure that I have clear points of reference and consideration. I have headings for all of the items that I want to bold, and those are my points of consideration. I have content upgrades or a call to action in every blog post, such as this one here. In this post, I have a link to download 36 blog post ideas. And then I also have images to help convey understanding. I try to include at least 2 in every blog post. Now, my images for my content upgrades, of course, I consider to be one of those images. Here I have another. As it relates to how I determine my blog topics, I share in my recent blog post ideas, what to blog about, a few ideas that are helpful for me to generate inspiration. I offer a few additional ideas in my one-page visual guide here. Download a copy by entering your email address so you can access yours. Moving right along, writing a blog entry is easy in concept. From your dashboard, you will want to click on the post icon right here on the left side of the screen. We're going to add new, and it's going to bring up a blank post screen. All right, this is where all the magic happens. Remember in the beginning when we installed the Yoast SEO plugin? Well, this is where we apply and use all the functionalities of it right here below the body of your post. Using Yoast is going to be helpful in getting your posts to rank on search engines. So we want to make sure that when the time is appropriate, we pay more attention here so that whatever you publish actually gets seen. All right, starting back at the top, you can leave your blog title blank if you don't have one yet. That's totally fine. I would suggest, however, writing out your blog entry first. Using a Word document is best practice for me. I typically type out what exactly I want to put into my blog, save it, file it, and then copy and paste when I'm ready. This is helpful because you can spell check and do all your grammar check with Grammarly. I love Grammarly. Outside of the WordPress platform. Another quick tip is feel free to add hyperlinks to your Word document. All of that will transfer when you copy and paste. For each blog entry, identify your focus word. That's going to be right here, and you're going to enter it there. The keyword is the word you want your page to rank for. So, for instance, when someone conducts a Google search using your keyword, they can find your blog post in the search results. Having a keyword for every blog post is critical for your blog to be found on the internet. In the Yoast SEO section area below, which is this one, you will add your keyword, update your SEO title, which is this section here, and your meta description, which is down here. Your SEO title is important because this is the title that will show up in search results. So you want to make sure that it has enough information to captivate people to click on your link. Your slug is actually the ending part of your URL. So let's say that would be your slug. This is what will show up in search results. Your meta description is actually a brief summary of what the reader will be expected if they click on your link. What? Uh-oh. All right, I had a brief malfunction here, but this tutorial will show you how to captivate your audience and cause Skittles to fall from the sky. I would definitely click on that if I saw that in a search result. All right, as an example, I'm going to show you one of my current blog posts that has already been published. But basically, the goal for each blog post is to get a green light for your SEO. So what I mean by green light, up here, this is the Yoast image, and here's a green light. There's also another way that you can tell how good your SEO is before you publish. You can see quickly, SEO, good. Readability is okay. Let's say your SEO wasn't all that great, and it was red. Down below, you're able to see your analysis, and it'll tell you specifically what is needed for you to do to get whether all greens or just enough greens to satisfy a good SEO post. For instance, here, under the example, I have all reds, and there's actually no color there. There's no color there because I don't have a focus word, so I'm going to add Skittles. Now my SEO is showing up red, and here are the reasons why. The text contains 0 words. The focus word Skittles does not appear in the SEO title. The focus keyword doesn't appear in the first paragraph, and so on and so on. So these are kind of like guidelines to help get your post ranking, at least a good SEO. I want to add disturbances. This is how you play around with it. At least this is how I play around with it. So as you see, I added Skittles to my title, and now that red dot has removed itself, and now I need to focus on these red and these orange items. All right. Okay, just to reiterate again, the goal is to get a green light on your Yoast SEO. So for your, this means that you've addressed all of the areas in the analysis section, which is right here, to give you optimal results for your blog posts. You don't necessarily have to address all the areas. As you see, I still have a red and I still have an orange, but I still passed with green. However, I typically do as much as to get the green light, as you see. Next, you want to ensure your readability is green as well. I don't necessarily pay much attention to the readability portion. Here is just basically talking about the content that you have for each blog post. Yoast offers great insight and resources to ensure each of your posts are easy to read. After you've updated all your SEO recommendations, you should then add tags to your blog posts. So the tags are actually right here in this section. And this helps for, this allows visitors to quickly find topics on your site via your search tool. These are easy to add and can be helpful for finding information throughout your website. But briefly, going back to the readability section, just wanted to give you a quick example of what I mean by resources and tools that YALS offers. For instance, this second bullet point, 26.1% of the sentences contain a transition word or phrase, which is less than the recommended minimum of 30. What is a transition word? Well, let's look it up. By clicking on that, it actually pulls up another website that is hosted by YALS, and it actually gives you great examples of what a transition word is and how to work through or updating and editing your words. So use of transition words. In order to guide your reader, you should use plenty of transition words. So they give some examples. Because, so, do, first of all, having a flow of words or transitioning into one sentence to the other allows the reader to follow more easily. So basically what they're saying is I'm under the 30% minimum, and I need to kind of go back and look. So instead of me reading through my entire blog, they actually allow me to click on this little eye, and it will highlight in my section, in my content, where exactly I need to focus on. And then I decide whether I want to edit, update, or do nothing at all as it relates to these areas. But I find that it's very helpful, and if it helps my reader read through my content that much easier, I will take in consideration in making those updated changes. Okay, before I conclude this series, I do want to talk very briefly and quickly about alternative text. Now, you'll see this, and typically when it relates to images, when you upload images, it's going to be alt text. And basically what that means is I'm going to click at one of my images here, this Grammarly, and I'm going to edit it because I already have my alternative text added. Grammarly here is a keyword for the blog post, as well as I use the same keyword for my images. So therefore, not only will my content be scanned for that keyword so it can rank more, but also the pictures. So whenever you go to a Google search, and let's say you're searching for images, and this icon here, which is my image, may come up, and if someone searches for Grammarly, and that means that someone can click on that and it would take them straight to my website in this article. So it's very important that when you do add images, that you make sure that you take that extra step to add your keyword to the alt text for images. That way you rank more, not only just on your content, but also the images that appear on your website. Now for each blog post, my images have a different alt text to it. There was a time when I first started, all of my images had DIY mogul. So whenever you would search DIY mogul, actually let me just do it right quick, all of the images that I had with that alt text came up. I thought that was pretty darn cool. So majority of these are mine, and that means that I'm highly saturating the Google search under images because I have my images with that alt text. I've changed quite a bit of them, so therefore not all of them will be showing up because I want my post to rank more than just my website. But it's definitely a helpful tool that I want to make sure that I give you that tidbit. All right. Well, that actually concludes this section of Blogging 101 course, Getting Started tutorial, Writing Your First Entry. Please share any feedback or questions in our Facebook group forum or in the comments below. Thanks, and I look forward to talking to you soon, hearing your questions, and providing more insight and solutions.